We've got more money, power, politics. And tonight, comments from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent have a lot of people concerned about the future of Social Security. During an event in D.C. yesterday, Treasury Secretary Bessent suggested the new Trump accounts for children could be a step towards removing the government's role in funding the retirement program. Watch this clip.
Now, with these accounts, they can be part of the system. In a way, it is a backdoor for privatizing Social Security. Like Social Security is a defined benefit plan paid out that, to the extent that if all of a sudden these accounts grow and you have in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for your retirement, then that's a game changer too.
Today, the White House raced to clean up his comments, saying the accounts will, quote, supplement, not substitute Social Security. Here to discuss, Rohit Chopra, former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and former member of the Federal Trade Commission during the first Trump administration, and Max Chafkin, Bloomberg Businessweek journalist and co-host of the Elon Inc. podcast. Rohit, Bessent also tried to walk back his remarks today on CNBC, saying Social Security is intact. Do you believe him? Should Americans be concerned?
Well, he's saying the quiet part out loud. It seems that this is just a way to move trillions of dollars in guaranteed income and gamble with it. In 2008, all those 401ks, they lost about $2 trillion in just about 6 months. And for people who are retiring, what kept food on the table and the mortgage payment going along was Social Security. I just think this is another way for Wall Street and others to sap people with fees and undermine this core insurance that really keeps financial stability for so many people.
Max, it's not like this is completely out of left field. Elon Musk and Doge were laser focused on Social Security, accessing data, cutting staffers. So should we be surprised?
I don't think we should be surprised that somebody like Scott Bessent said this, because lots of people like him, and you brought up Elon Musk. He also went on the Joe Rogan podcast and referred to Social Security as a Ponzi scheme, if you remember. And so there is this view, I'd say among donors and among sort of business guys, tech guys, Wall Street guys, that Social Security is, this like problematic thing that if we could just privatize, we get a lot better, which of course not only contradicts with the way most Americans feel, it contradicts with the politics of Donald Trump. And I think it's because, they don't have to worry about, they're not planning on supporting themselves via Social Security. So the kinds of dynamics that Rohit is talking about, where equities go up and down really dramatically, and if you have to retire that year, you're kind of screwed, like that just doesn't really factor in their thinking. They're just sort of looking at the chart and also, I think, thinking about the potential profits from pushing money into these private investments.
So let's go back to that, because Rohit, you were starting to lay it out for us. For the average person out there, what would privatizing Social Security even look like?
Well, think about your 401k or your other retirement plan. Instead of having a guarantee minimum income when you retire from Social Security and having that 401k really be a source of extra funds to meet your goals, you really will be putting it all on the roulette wheel. And when you retire, that's going to determine what's going to happen to your financial future. If the stock market is up, you'll be okay. But if it's not, like we've seen many times, that's falling all on you. Stephanie, this is just another piece where we are seeing lots of ways where they want to make giveaways to Wall Street rather than looking after ordinary American consumers.
All right, Max, new topic. Elon Musk, a man you know very, very well. He made a very big announcement about his new political party, but it hasn't gotten much traction. And now, if you actually look at the numbers, he's the biggest donor to GOP super PACs so far this year. So what's going on? I mean, it wasn't that long ago. He said he was going to devote himself to primarying and giving an unlimited amount of money to anybody, to any Republican who voted for Trump's budget.
All right, so there's a lot of confusing messaging out of Elon Musk, because before that he said he was getting out of politics. You know, 1 minute he's getting out of politics, 1 minute he's getting into politics, 1 minute he's starting a party, next minute he's donating to Republicans. I will say, if you look at the timeline of these donations, those donations happened before he actually started, actually tweeted that he was starting the America Party, because of course he has not done anything as far as we can tell. I think that this idea that Elon Musk is somehow going to get out of politics is a lot of wishful thinking by a combination of Republicans who sort of would find it a lot easier if he were not meddling, as well as a lot of investors in some of his companies. But look, the numbers, the $50 million or so that we see in these filings, they don't lie. He is a major political actor. He's going to continue to be. Just this evening, he was tweeting about Thomas Massie and the donors who are backing his challenger. So I think he is going to be very much in the mix, and very likely, from the right of Donald Trump, sort of maybe potentially an annoyance, but perhaps also potentially creating some kind of a base of support for the right or the far right of Trump's coalition.
All right, Rohit, new topic. In the coming days, we are going to get that jet that was a gift from the Qataris. And today, Senate Republicans actually voted to allow Trump to keep the jet when he leaves office. What is the rationale for that? That every single Republican voted, yep, we want that. I mean, Chris Murphy actually tried to stop this with an amendment, and they said, no, we're cool with this. What's the rationale for it?
Well, it's just another way we're seeing Congress totally surrender its constitutional duties and really be lapdogs rather than watchdogs over what they're supposed to be protecting against, which is overreach and abuses. Look, this plane, I think there are some real questions as to the motives, as to what is happening with this plane. And I think this is a horrible precedent to set. We are already seeing a debate about stock trading. We need to ban that for executive branch officials, for Congress. This is a slippery slope for just more and more corruption across our government.